So in today's video, I'm going to go over all of the best accessories that you need for your Sony FX3. Hey everyone, it's Indira and I'm a photographer and content creator from the San Francisco Bay Area. On this channel, I do gear reviews, camera reviews, and from time to time, vlogging. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit that like button down below, as it really does help the channel out. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into the best accessories that I personally think you should get if you have a Sony A7S or a Sony FX3 like I'm filming on right now. Just note that none of these will be in any particular order. Okay, so for the first accessory that you're going to need for your Sony FX3 are batteries. The Sony FX3 takes NP-FZ100 batteries, and these are somewhat expensive. They come in at around, I believe, $69 or $79 if you get the Sony brand. But when it comes to batteries, you do not want to skimp out, and I suggest going with the brand name batteries. It does come with one in the box when you buy this camera, but at least have another one on hand, because with everything that this camera is doing, it does drain the battery faster than a normal DSLR, for example. The next accessory that I recommend is getting variable ND filters. I personally use the Freewell variable ND filters. They look something like this. They have this really nice hardcover on them, and it is a magnetic hardcover, which is really nice, and that is what the filter looks like. So it looks really clean, really nice. It has a nice coating to it. It's something that is very reliable, and I've been using this for I think almost a year now, or maybe I think like almost a year, or maybe less. I don't really know, but all I know is that these things are amazing. For one filter, like 2 to 5 stop or 6 to 9, it's around $110, $120, and that's pretty darn good, because you can get a full set for around $250, and that is pretty nice considering that the quality has been really good and there's not that much vignetting. In fact, I'm using one right now on my Sigma 24 1.4. I stand by these filters. The next accessory that I recommend getting for your Sony FX3 is an external USB charger. And the reason why I suggest getting this is that because with all the features that this camera has, the battery does drain a little bit faster than a regular DSLR. So if you are on the go to a location, and you can always plug in an external charging bank while you're even filming, or if your camera's just sitting down, and you can then be trickle charging the battery on this camera. You do have to have a battery in the camera for this to happen. But for me, it has been amazing because I can just have my camera sitting down, and after I'm done filming a video or doing B-roll, I can just simply charge it, trickle charge it, and I don't have to worry about it. So definitely have this in your bag at all times. The next thing that will make your life so much easier when using the Sony A7S3 or the Sony FX3 are these two bad boys right here. These are the Sony brand CFEXPRESS Type A cards, and they are pretty darn expensive. They come in 80 gigs and 160 gigs, but they have writing speeds of 800 megabytes, which is insane. Literally only Sony has these CFEXPRESS Type A cards, and so they are very expensive and come at a premium price. For example, this before tax is $399, which is literally insane. But when it comes to an expensive camera like this, you want to get the best quality, and you want to be able to film and have the option to film in all of the different codecs. So having these, at least 2 of these, or even 1 of these, and then a regular V90 SD card will allow you to do that. Personally, if you're buying a camera of this caliber, I think it's good to just go all in and get the best quality out of your camera. And so I bought 2 of these 160 gigs CFEXPRESS Type A cards, and I do not regret it. So definitely pick these up to make your life with these cameras much easier. Along with having those CFEXPRESS Type A cards, you need to then purchase the Sony CFEXPRESS Type A card reader. This thing is also pretty darn expensive, and literally only Sony has this type of card reader for CFEXPRESS Type A cards. And it comes in at around $120 for this tiny little card reader. Then again, if you want to actually be able to get the data off of that CFEXPRESS card, literally Sony is the only one that has this card reader at the moment. You can also via USB-C into the camera, you can get data that way or get your files off of the camera that way, but honestly just use the native card reader, it's so much easier. Moving on to the next item that you need for your Sony FX3 is an external hard drive to put all your files on when you're editing your video, and then after when you're exporting your video to put them on that external hard drive. Now before I was using this. This is a Seagate external 4TB external hard drive, and I've been using this for around a year now. Now this is a external hard drive that has that spinny disc, and you can actually feel it spinning when you have this plugged into your computer. The only problem with that is that it's not nearly as fast as a external hard drive, the ones that we have in our computers, or a external hard drive, let's say one that you have in your own PC that you built from scratch. Those are obviously going to be much faster. So instead of getting this type of external hard drive, this is great for putting videos on after the fact and storing photos as a second backup hard drive. But I personally recommend getting at least this. This is a 1TB SanDisk Extreme portable SSD, and you've probably seen other YouTubers mention this tiny little SSD. I mean, look how tiny this is. It's so skinny, and it fits. It's smaller than my hand, which is like insane. I suggest getting at least 1 terabyte. I got this one personally at Best Buy. I had no idea that they actually had these, and I'm pretty sure they didn't until very recently, so check your local Best Buy. But I suggest getting at least 1 terabyte, and that will cost you around $226 for 1 terabyte. It's because the quality is insane with something like this. I mean, seriously, it has, you can see the writing and reading and writing speeds right there, and it is literally insane how fast this SanDisk Extreme portable SSD is. And especially when you are using 4K 10-bit 422 or even the 1080p all-I codec, which is 89 megabytes. With working with large file sizes and that have all that data compressed, you want something that has one of the fastest writing speeds around. It will also help with your workflow in Premiere or whatever editing system you're using after the fact. And honestly, this thing is really nice. It doesn't heat up that much. I've had this plugged in for hours and hours, and it just works. Even if you're on an older computer, get something like this, invest in this, and it will change your workflow. Speaking of workflow, the last item that I have on my list, M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch. It is currently in the background, right there on my desk, and I love this computer. I previously before had never had a MacBook Pro. I was using an old HP laptop for regular, like watching YouTube videos was fine. But if I was editing on it, it would just like, it would feel like it was gonna blow up at any second. And honestly, in my workflow, I personally make proxies because that's just what I'm used to, and it also just helps with my workflow in general. It doesn't even take that long to make proxies, and in Premiere Pro, it's so easy to do so. And so having this MacBook Pro with the M1 chip, I have 16 gigabytes of RAM and the 256 gigs of storage, but that's okay, I have an external SSD. So honestly, get the best computer that your money can buy. You will have to drop probably like $2,000 on a good computer system, but you want something that can handle your editing, that can handle all the codecs on this. You will probably have to make proxies anyways if you want your workflow to be a little bit faster when you're editing and exporting, but honestly, this computer is fantastic. I highly recommend picking one up. So there you go, guys. Those are all of the accessories that I recommend when purchasing the Sony FX3 or Sony A7S III. Let me know what accessories you are looking at getting, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.